because really, wind thermodynamics. Am I right? Hey guys, I'm Vincent with Naked and Famous Denim here with another fade review. We have a special pair coming in from the core collection, but some crazy modifications have been made here. I don't have an example of the other one. Garrett, please insert it right here, or the original version. We got these jeans a couple months ago. They've been sitting on ice, like a cool warm drink. Summer's coming, I'm excited. These are, despite what the waistband is saying, they are the 11-ounce stretch selvage in the classic. Yes, in the classic. We can tell it's women's because of the smaller patch here. But let me read you a little story about it. Crazy story because these are worn for a long time. I've had some of probably the craziest repairs I've ever seen, honestly. So here we go. This was worn by Francisco. I don't know if it's Francesco. I might have spelled this wrong, but Francisco, thank you for bringing these in. We've been loving them. He had worn them for the past 5 years since the beginning of the pandemic. Went a year without washing them, and then after that proceeded to wash them once a month. Made the forbidden alteration of adding more fabric to make them bigger, and they fit him perfectly. Did some Sashiko for fun, heavy repairs on some blowouts, made a double butt. I'm sure we'll see what that means. They've been washed approximately 17 times. These were worn in Mexico City. We're the only active pair for 3 years, which is incredible, which will be explained by all of the blowouts. And these are worn in Mexico City. So Francisco, shout out to you, man. This is the 11-ounce selvage, not stretch selvage, because actually no stretch. Said stretch, force a habit, talk about it all the time. 11-ounce selvage in the classic. That's the front. This is the back. That is a long ride. So here we go. Where do we start, man? Let's start at the front. It's the easiest thing to digest. Whatever. Screw that paper. Oh, Vinny, don't trip. We got the ladder set up. We're trying something different. Yeah, these are the jeans. We can see here, which, man, it's already getting crazy. We can see that the rivets are oxidizing and brassing a little bit. We got like the original kind of color they come in, and then we got these bad johns here that have turned a little bit yellow. We have a little bit of fraying, some wear and tear on the fly placket just right under. And we have our double waistband. Yeah, exactly what you think. Double waistband. What the hell? Yeah, me too. So you have the original waistband on the outside, and then we have a Gap straight fit waistband on the inside. Crazy repair, but I respect it. Wonderful, not much like wear and tear on the pockets themselves. We have a little bit here where the thumbs might go like this. So I'll show it to y'all real quick. You get that? These looks like they've had like a whip stitch on the right side, not so much on the left side. But if we open up looking at the fly, we have a little bit of a key ring here to help with the zipping up. Low-key, this is a bit of a hack. I feel like this would be super easy to do, but like super easy to pull up, especially if the jeans don't fit. But we don't really feature many zippers on our jeans because button fly is a little bit more secure. If we slide down a little bit, we can see here on the outseam that it has been ripped a little, and it seems to have not been repaired. I'm looking at it. If we slide down some more, we have the beautiful like whiskering on the outside, which will turn into honeycombs on the back, and these massive Sashiko pieces. Look at that. So we had a tear right here, like just, you know, at an angle, and Francisco had patched it from the inside. That's the worst way to flip him inside out. Let me flip this leg here. Look at the size of that patch. We can see the Sashiko, how it's been finished. Let me flip it inside out again. There's a lot of flipping. Look at that. Beautiful. That's huge. It's like 1.5 of my hands. So this takes a lot of work. This is laborious. Sashiko meaning little stabs. And it's like a mending / reinforcing technique that is often used to repair your jeans. Something you could do at home. Very approachable and accessible for anyone to do, as opposed to darning. But I'm really loving it. Looks super, super cool. If we go to the other side, we can see those same really cool whiskering that will turn into honeycombs in the back. And we have a pair of or not a pair, rather, a repair that is Sashiko as well, but has some of the cross stitching and has some of the just regular vertical stitching, unlike where this is just vertical. And the cross comes in this cool little patch with like a whip stitch or maybe like a blanket stitch. And then we have just the regular verticals here. I'm loving this. You know, this is looking pretty cool. The fade is not like a super clean fade in the sense that it's not white and blue. It's got like a creamy, you know, like honey, you know, a little bit yellowish. It's what happens when you wash it a little less. If we slide down, we can see a big color contrast here. These would be more according to the natural color. And I assume it's just because the bad boys have been cuffed quite a bit. So we're going 1, 2, and 3 cuffs here. That's a lot of cuffing, a lot of cuff action. But if we unravel it, we don't see much roping because there hasn't been much like abrasion done to this because they've been cuffed the whole time. But we can see a little bit of lines here, a little bit of cracking in the fabric where the like where the how do you call it? The rolls would have been. Sorry, or the cuffs. But we have this weird little fade line here. I wonder if this is from washing the jeans right side out or if they had been worn and like bunched up in this weird way. That will be a mystery to me. We can also see that they were not chain stitched, so I believe these might have been hemmed, not from us. And if they were from us, well then maybe it might have been too small to be on our Union Special, which does occur sometimes. If a jean is too small, it's just not possible, or if a jean is too big. Now here's where it gets a little crazy, okay? Going to the back, we can see where the waistband has been extended, right? We have this piece here, doesn't really match the rest. We have our patch that has been re-sewn on with this white stitching. We can even see on the inside where the straight next to the size would have been. And then if we slide down, we have these pockets and this amazing seed fade. This whole pocket has been reinforced with Sashiko with the like tonal stitching that we saw in the front on the left side of the leg. And then on right here on the inside, or the right side rather, we have some Sashiko just at the bottom here, a little bit of X's on the edge here, some really crazy repairs I'm loving. And then we have the Sashiko with the crosses and a little bit of a couple asterisks here. If we slide down, we see what looks like a bullseye. Now, if it's a reinforcement. We have some what looks like attempts of darning or just reinforcing a little bit more down the line here. It looks like the edge had been folded here. I'm really not too sure what's going on, but it's one heck of a cool fade. We have a little bit more here. Francisco, if you see this video and you're in the comments, I'd love to get a take on it. You know, if you could provide a little bit more info, that'd be really awesome. I'm sure some of our wonderful viewers have some questions. And we have more patches down here. More, kind of looks like a maze now because the stitching is going like this. And then it ends in like a little spiral. We have some, what looks like, I guess, darning and repairs, reinforcements of where the patch would have ripped. But, you know, the fade overall is very cool. We got, you know, a little bit of fading on the corners here. We have these extenders on the outseam. These little like, almost like a gusset to extend that waist. And we have it on the other side as well. And some of this looks like a flat felt seam, which I commend the craftsmanship, honestly. So let's flip them inside out so we could get a real look at what this monstrous repair looks like and patch. And when I say monstrous, not because it's bad, but because it's just gigantic. Here we are. So we have a massive patch on the inside, one of just denim here to repair, and I don't know, maybe some fusing, looks like some fusing or like some sort of mesh on the inside. And then we have this big patch here which creates that look, and we can see it looks kind of cool there. We can see even a little bit of the indigo coming through from the fades. Flip it right side out. And then we'll proceed down to the rest of the fade. We have some light honeycombs, nothing crazy, but you know, it's prevalent. We can see a little bit of cracking going on. One here, little lines. But overall, because the washing, you know, it makes sense that they're not as high contrast as we would believe them to be. you know me, them calf fades, man. There's just something special about it. We got the calf fades going on here. One's that looks like the leg twist has gone to the jeans. And so, you know, they twisted this way. Hence why the calf fade's a little bit more on the right. This is a little bit more even, and why the inseam is coming to the back instead of just being on the front. And we can still see some of these like weird little lines here, which I assume, you know, I'm assuming that this is coming from the cuffs. But this has really been one of the more interesting fades we've ever got. Shout out to Francisco for fading this beautiful pair of 11-ounce selvage in the Classic. The patch is even looking crazy, man. Look at that. Look at that patina. Look at the way that the belt loops have been worn. It's all really just so beautiful. This like fade review may not have been as structured, but I did get a little excited seeing the patchwork done, because it's really just a complete masterpiece in my opinion. Because this isn't easy to do, and especially not easy to do at home. So I really commend Francisco for a lot of effort. Thank you for the amazing fade. It's been fun to review this, because just look at that. Bang. To me, this is a contest winning fade. Personally, I think so. So thank you, Francisco, for the 11-ounce selvage in the Classic. We don't see many women's silhouettes faded. I don't think we've ever seen one on the Fade Review series. If you are out here wearing a women's silhouette or something from our women's line, oh my God, I almost choked. Producing a lot of saliva while talking. If you do wear some of our women's silhouettes, and you have faded a pair, please send us an email, and we'd love to arrange, you know, a way for us to get these faded jeans back, and we can do a review on them for you. We'll even exchange a code depending if it's core collection or if it's seasonal. Core collection getting 30, seasonal getting 20. You can send an email to me. It'll be me or Vinny behind the camera that will be answering them. That's another fade review coming from your boy Vincent from Naked and Famous Denim. Do not forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications on any other fade reviews that we're doing or any other videos that we will be uploading. And leave a comment what you guys think. How do we feel about the repairs? Is there anything else? Is there any like difference in repair you guys would love to do? Or just, you know, what you think? Take care, guys. Peace. Mic drop.